The History Channel destroyed their biggest hit show by firing everyone who made it great. American Restoration was more than just a TV show about fixing old stuff. It was a piece of television history that captured the hearts of millions of viewers who loved watching broken pieces of America's past come back to life. The show had everything fans wanted: skilled craft work, family drama, and the satisfaction of seeing rusty junk transformed into beautiful treasures. But what started as one of the History Channel's most successful series ended in one of the most shocking decisions in reality TV history. The network fired the entire cast that made the show famous and replaced them with strangers. This is the complete story of how American Restoration rose to the top and then fell apart in the most dramatic way possible. The story begins in Las Vegas with Rick Dale, a tough metal worker who owned a restoration shop called Rick's Restorations. Rick wasn't trying to be a TV star, he was just good at his job. He specialized in bringing old machines back to life, everything from vintage Coke machines to antique jukeboxes. His work was so impressive that he became the go-to restoration expert for another History Channel show called Pawn Star. Whenever the guys at the pawn shop needed something fixed, they called Rick. Viewers loved watching him work because he was real, honest, and passionate about his craft. Rick's appearances on Pawn Stars were so popular that fans started asking for more. They wanted to see what happened in Rick's shop when the cameras weren't rolling. They wanted to meet his family and watch complete restorations from start to finish. The History Channel noticed this demand and saw an opportunity. In 2010 they offered Rick his own show. American Restoration was born, and it would become one of the most successful reality series in cable TV history. The format was simple but perfect. Each episode followed the same basic structure that kept viewers coming back for more. Someone would bring a broken piece of Americana to Rick's shop, maybe a rusty barber chair from the 1920s, a damaged popcorn machine, or a neglected gas pump that hadn't worked in decades. Rick and his team would assess the damage, explain what needed to be done, and then work their magic. By the end of the episode, the broken relic would be transformed into a stunning piece that looked better than it did when it was brand new. But the real magic of American Restoration wasn't just the transformations, it was the people. Rick's family and employees became beloved characters that fans looked forward to seeing every week. His wife Kelly managed the business side of the shop and kept everyone organized. She was the voice of reason when Rick got too excited about a difficult project. Their son Tyler was learning the trade but often clashed with his father about the right way to do things. These father-son conflicts felt real because they were real. Rick's brother Ron provided comic relief with his laid-back attitude and funny observation. The chemistry between all these personalities made the show feel like hanging out with friends rather than watching strangers work. The show's success was immediate and impressive. American Restoration quickly became one of the History Channel's highest-rated programs, drawing millions of viewers each week. Fans loved the combination of skilled craftsmanship, family dynamics, and the satisfaction of seeing something broken become beautiful again. The show tapped into something deeper than just entertainment. It connected with people's love of American history and their desire to preserve the past. Every restored item told a story about the people who had owned it and the era it came from. Rick Dale became a household name and a symbol of American craftsmanship. He appeared at trade shows, signed autographs, and inspired a new generation of people to try restoration work. His shop became a tourist destination where fans would stop by hoping to catch a glimpse of their favorite TV restoration expert. The success of American Restoration also helped boost the entire restoration industry, as people became more interested in fixing old items instead of throwing them away. For 6 seasons, American Restoration dominated the airwaves and defined what the History Channel was all about. The show earned critical praise for its authentic portrayal of skilled labor and its respect for American history. Unlike many reality shows that relied on manufactured drama and fake conflicts, American Restoration felt genuine. The challenges were real, the skills were impressive, and the results were satisfying. This authenticity was the secret ingredient that separated it from other reality TV shows. However, success brought new pressures that would eventually destroy what made the show special. As American Restoration became more popular, network executives began demanding changes. They wanted bigger projects that would create more dramatic television. They pushed for faster deadlines that would add artificial tension to the restoration process. They suggested adding more personal drama between family members to increase viewer engagement. What started as a genuine look at skilled craftsmanship slowly began turning into something more manufactured and less authentic. Behind the scenes, tensions were growing between Rick Dale and the network producers. Rick wanted to maintain the show's focus on quality restoration work and authentic family relationships. He believed that the genuine passion and skill that made the show successful should remain the priority. The network, however, was looking for ways to increase ratings and reduce costs. They saw opportunities to create more drama and conflict that might attract even more viewers. This fundamental disagreement about the show's direction would eventually lead to a shocking decision that nobody saw coming. The first signs of trouble appeared in 2014 when fans began noticing subtle changes in the show's form. Certain family members seemed to get less screen time than before. Some episodes felt more scripted and less natural. The easy chemistry between Rick and his team seemed forced at times. Longtime viewers started posting concerns on social media, wondering if something was wrong behind the scenes, but nothing could have prepared them for what happened next. In 2016, the History Channel made an announcement that stunned fans and shocked the television industry. Rick Dale and his entire crew were fired from American Restaurant. Without warning, without explanation, and without any chance for fans to say goodbye, the network announced that the show would continue with a completely new format. Season 7 would feature multiple restoration shops from around the country instead of focusing on Rick's Las Vegas operation. The family that fans had grown to love over 6 seasons was gone, replaced by strangers who had no connection to the show's history or success. The fan reaction was immediate and furious. Social media exploded with angry posts from viewers who couldn't understand why the network would destroy a successful show. Online forums filled with discussions about the decision, with most fans expressing confusion and disappointment. Many viewers felt betrayed by the network's choice to remove the people who had made American Restoration special. The hashtag Save American Restoration began trending as fans organized campaigns to bring Rick Dale back to the show. The new format was a disaster from the very first episode. Instead of following one family in their restoration business, the show jumped between different shops in different cities with different people. There was no continuity, no character development, and no emotional connection between the viewers and the new cast member. The personal relationships that had made the original show so compelling were completely gone. What remained was just another generic show about people fixing old things, with no heart or soul to distinguish it from dozens of similar programs. Critics immediately panned the new version of American Restoration. Television reviewers called it disjointed, confusing, and emotionally empty. The rotating cast of restoration experts had no chemistry with each other because they worked in different locations and rarely interacted. Without the family dynamics that had driven the original show, the new format felt like watching a series of unrelated restoration videos rather than a cohesive television program. The magic that had made American Restoration special was completely lost. Ratings collapsed almost immediately. The first episode of the new format drew less than half the audience of the previous season's finale. Each subsequent episode lost more viewers as fans realized that their favorite show had been replaced by something completely different. By the end of season 7, American Restoration was attracting fewer viewers than many shows that get canceled for poor performance. The network's gamble had failed spectacularly. The reasons behind the network's decision remain controversial and are still debated by fans and industry insiders. Some sources suggest that Rick Dale had become too expensive for the network's budget. As his fame grew, his salary demands increased, and the History Channel may have been looking for a cheaper alternative. Others claim that there were creative differences between Rick and the producers about the show's direction. Rick wanted to maintain the authentic focus on skilled restoration work, while the network wanted more manufactured drama and conflict. Another theory suggests that the network believed the original format had run its course and needed to be refreshed to maintain viewer interest. They may have thought that featuring multiple restoration shops would provide more variety and keep the show fresh. However, this theory ignores the fact that American Restoration was still drawing strong ratings and positive reviews when the change was made. There was no evidence that viewers were getting bored with Rick Dale and his family. Rick Dale himself remained mostly silent about the network's decision, showing remarkable class and professionalism during a difficult time. In the few interviews he gave, he admitted that he was blindsided by the firing and called it a painful experience. However, he also said he had no regrets about his time on the show, and was grateful for the opportunity to share his passion with millions of viewers. He returned to running his restoration shop full-time, and began focusing on his YouTube channel, where loyal fans continued to follow his work. The failed reboot of American Restoration limped along for 2 more seasons before being quietly cancelled in There was no big farewell episode, no reunion special, and no acknowledgement of what the show had once meant to viewers. The History Channel simply stopped making new episodes and moved on to other programming. The show that had once been one of the network's biggest hits disappeared without ceremony or recognition. Today, American Restoration is remembered as both a tremendous success story and a cautionary tale about the dangers of network interference. It demonstrated how authentic passion and genuine family relationships can create compelling television that resonates with millions of viewers. But it also showed how corporate decisions made far from the actual production can destroy something special in pursuit of short-term profits or misguided creative vision. He lost a platform, but in many ways that gave him something more valuable: the freedom to work on his own terms. He continues to restore beautiful pieces, work with his family, and inspire people who love American craftsmanship. His YouTube channel allows him to connect directly with fans without network interference or artificial drama. In some ways, his post-TV career has been more authentic and satisfying than his time in the spotlight. The legacy of American Restoration lives on in the countless people who were inspired to try restoration work after watching the show. It sparked interest in preserving American history and maintaining the skilled trades that built our country. While the show itself may be gone, its impact on popular culture and the restoration industry continues to influence people today. Subscribe to uncover the real stories behind TV's biggest disasters.